Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today here with our TA Toolkit webinar with Sheila Folk from Travel Industry Solutions. I have connected with Sheila probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I have to tell you that out of so many travelpreneurs that have started a business in since about 2020, when all of us were kind of looking for other things to do, Sheila to me has the most amazing product and is just the most amazing person at running her business. And I think you're going to find a lot of value from it today. And so I'm not going to tell you a lot about Travel Industry Solutions because she's going to do that. But I wanted to let you know how I feel about Sheila. And I think that by the end of this, you will feel that way too. So Sheila, it is yours.
Great. Thanks so much, Debbie, for having me. Thanks everybody for being here today. I know it's a Friday afternoon. You probably want to, start thinking about what your cocktail hour is going to look like, or you've got to pick up the kids. But as Debbie mentioned, I'm Sheila Folk, and I am the CEO and founder of Travel Industry Solutions. But before we dive into the exciting things I want to share with you, I really just want to tell you a bit about why I'm so passionate about helping travel pros like you. As a travel agency owner, I can tell you I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like to build a business from the ground up. All of those things like balancing client demands, managing your operations, trying to stay on top of all of the changing legal landscape. What I can tell you is that in my first 2 years with just a two-person team, so it was my mom and I, we generated 8 million in sales. But along the way, I encountered some serious challenges, especially when it came to legal protection and managing a lot of the complexities of running a travel business. And that is when I realized that there was a huge gap in the market. Travel pros really needed a comprehensive, reliable solution that could handle those challenges without breaking the bank. And that's why I founded Travel Industry Solutions along with my partner, who is a licensed attorney with decades of experience in some of the most complex legal cases around the world. And he also leads the vetting and the selection of the expert attorneys we work with, whether it's in privacy law, labor law, travel law, you name it. So TIS is designed to give you everything you need to protect and grow your business, all in just a few clicks. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how TIS can help you achieve the same kind of success that I've had without the stress and the uncertainty that comes with trying to do it all on your own. So before I dive into the demo, I really want to start by talking about one of the foundational elements of your business, and that's contracts. They might not be the most exciting topic, but they're really essential for your business. They're the backbone of your business and your relationships. And in the travel industry, I see this a lot, but you cannot afford to rely on DIY templates or what I call one and done contracts. The minute that you get that one and done contract, it's likely outdated. And that's why inside of TIS, we offer contracts that are not only specifically designed for you, but they're also automatically updated with laws and regulations as they change. And they're not just any contracts. They are crafted by attorneys to be clear, comprehensive. We like to say in plain English and ensure that you and your clients are fully protected. So the good news is with TIS, you can operate confidently knowing you've got the right legal coverage in place. But having solid contracts is just the beginning. In today's world, even the smallest disputes can quickly become major headaches. And I think that's why it's so important to have a system in place to protect your business and risks. Something that is also missing is an audit trail. Disputes and chargebacks are unfortunately part of the game in our industry. But with TIS, we help you handle those with ease if they do crop up, because our technology actually records every interaction with your clients. So if that dispute arises, you've got a ready-made, robust defense, not only for yourself, but for your suppliers, who often are now holding the agent responsible. And I like to always say that even if you're not merchant of record, we have a responsibility to be good stewards inside of our industry, and that includes supporting our suppliers. When you start to support your suppliers, that's when they're going to start supporting you back. I owe a lot of my success to my BDM at Regent Seven Seas Cruises, who believed in me in the very beginning of my agency, and who really started funneling big marketing dollars to me to help me expand my business and then represent Regent Seven Seas at their events throughout the US. So when you are a good steward and you have good business practices and you demonstrate that, that's when your suppliers also help you inside of your business. And of course, defending your business is crucial, but staying compliant with the latest regulations is just as important. And let's be honest, it's a real challenge. I can tell you that this year alone, we've made around 6 updates. We are also getting ready to release a 50-page guidance document on the DOT rulings, one of which is in the Court of Appeals, but there are major knock-on impacts to non-merchant of record advisors, and we've been working with various suppliers inside of the industry, including Allianz Insurance, to give you some guidance around this. So just keep in mind that regulations are always changing, and keeping up is pretty overwhelming. It's overwhelming for us sometimes in TIS, so I know it would be really overwhelming for an advisor. But with TIS, you don't have to worry about that. Plus, I'll show you another cool thing that we have, which is auto updating policies. So you won't have to lift a finger. We will give you a code snippet to put on your website for specific policies. And when we make updates, they're going to update while you sleep directly to your website. It's like super easy, and it allows you to focus on what matters. So even with compliance handled, and we were just talking about this earlier, there's lots of things that can crop up inside of your business that you need to be prepared for. And some of those things relate to managing efficiency, building trust, saving time, creating a trusted environment with some of your customers. Time is one of your most valuable resources. And everybody asks me, how did you reach 8 million in sales in 2 years with just 2 people? And I can tell you, I completely nerd out on operational efficiency. In my previous roles, I worked in various hospitality verticals. I worked inside of a global company that served risk managers, internal auditors, heads of global companies. And I was able to go in and look inside of those businesses and help them become more efficient, which translated into more profits without adding more customers, and then helped them to also acquire new customers through efficiencies. So I applied a lot of those teachings from my past experience to my travel agency, and TIS helps you to become operationally efficient with functional tools, not shiny tools, functional tools, whether it's customizable forms, workflows, email sequences, etc. So I'm going to showcase a lot of these tools for you. It'll take a few minutes. You're going to see how easy it is. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully I do have share. Yep, I do. Screen sharing permissions. All righty. All right, guys. So currently we have 3 membership plans, And you can go to our website and look at the pricing page, which shows the inclusions. There are 2 plans for solo or single users. And then if you are an agency owner with ICs, we do have a plan that includes 5 user seats, and you can add additional user seats. I was just telling Debbie earlier, we're doing some technical build right now to support some single purchase products, as well as support our Canadian advisors, because we are finally entering the Canadian market. But I will tell you, we do have real group contracts coming to the market. We have destination wedding bundles. We have the My Disney Experience waiver and some other unique products that will be introduced later this year. But right now, when you sign up for a membership plan, you're going to come into your dashboard. You will be prompted to set up your 2-factor authentication. We are SACD compliant and meet PCI rules. And then you're going to come in to set up your agency profile. Guys, this is how simple it is. We're going to ask you a few questions about your agency name. What is your business structure? Are you a franchise, independent, hosted? Maybe you're hosted and an independent because you have credentials in a specific state. We're going to ask you some questions about your change, cancellation fees, and where you're going to host your client terms and conditions. Once you complete those 3 screens, our platform intelligently builds the documents based on your agency's setup. So you're going to come into the master templates section of our platform. You'll see we have a host of master templates that cover all areas of your business. I've mentioned a few of the new ones we'll introduce. We do have an agency offboarding packet that we're introducing. We're introducing traveling with minor consent forms, some medical consent forms. Those are ready to go. We're getting ready to push those out. But we cover things like website policies, your travel insurance acceptance form and waiver, which is not just a declination. You guys need to be getting the yes, so that your clients are accepting responsibility in choosing the plan that they choose with the provider. And also they're understanding everybody's role in the travel insurance process. We give you lots of guidance on things that maybe you're just starting to plan fees or starting to charge fees. So we give you a few different planning fee examples, as well as we will guide you through the process of completing some of those agreements that are not ready to be executed right now. So for example, the 1099 contractor agreement, if you're hiring a virtual assistant or somebody to do fractional marketing for you, we've crafted the entire document, and then you are going to plug in specifics about that relationship, as well as include details inside of the appendix. And so we'll give you some guidance along the way. You can then execute it with your contractor, or you can save it as a personalized template to your personalized template library, and you can edit it further on the screen if you like. You can execute it, you can delete it. You can see when your last date created was and compare it to the latest revision date of the master agreement inside of the TIS master templates. We use something that's called a travel services client agreement. It is a short form that links to your full terms and conditions. I believe in making it simple and easy for our customers to sign off on our terms without creating fear or overwhelm. So this particular agreement will link to your full terms and conditions, and your client will sign this, but they can click through to the full terms and conditions. We do have an option for us to host the client terms on our side for you, or you can place them on your website. So if you just want to get up and running, we can host them for you, and the link will populate across the entire platform in all of your documents. So let's say you do want to execute inside of our platform. You choose the execute button. We do have a third-party credit card vault, which a lot of the platforms inside of our space use. It's called TokenX. So you can enter the amount that you want your client to authorize, enter in the trip name, and then enter in a memo. So maybe this is the initial deposit. You can upload files, your supplier terms and conditions. If you want to upload any other documents, you send the document to your client for signature. They get an email, they click on the link, they open up in a single screen, they'll enter their card, they can download documents, they can click on any links, and then they can also sign your document. Or you can schedule the send of the document for a later date. So let's say you're sending out the initial deposit authorization and you know when you need them to authorize the final payment, you can go ahead and tee up that schedule send, and it'll go out when it's time for your client to sign off and authorize that final amount. Once your client signs the agreement and executes everything, they get a copy. You get a copy, you're notified in your dashboard, and then you can come inside of the customer record and you can view that document. This is really important, guys. Super, super important. We have a full audit trail. It tracks opens, link clicks, downloads, when they signed it, any action that they have taken inside of the document that you have sent to them. And it's also embedded inside of the document. You can also view the billing details. What amount did they authorize? Reveal the full card. The CVV code is deprecated after, I believe, 60 days. But you do have access to it for a short time. And I think we may reduce that to 30 days. But you do have the full visibility of the contract. You can also download it. I will tell you that some of our members have had chargebacks, a handful of them, because as you know, that is a contract between your traveler and their credit card company. And they have, it has made it so much easier for them to defend the chargeback and win because of the audit trail, along with the communication tools that they are using out of TIS, which also provides legal protection. That's the piece that's really, really important about your customer communication. So this is how all of the agreements work. So some are ready to go. Some are user guided. You can save them to your personalized templates library for any that you needed to alter. And if you're using an outside source like an outside signing source and you want to eliminate that, you have the ability to add your own contracts and drag and drop signature fields and execute them right inside of our platform. So you can drag and drop a PDF, or you can add text-based content and save it to your user upload. So you can eliminate that expense. In addition to all of the contracts, we have a host of email communications broken down by category type. So contemporary cruise, follow-up group, luxury cruise, prospecting, proposal. You can select the type, click the all button and download in bulk. For Travel Joy users, we've provided share links along with a guide which shows you how to set up the tasks and some of the automations. We're working on Travify right now. Turn users, we already have this set up. So turn users have to send us an email and then we do a share. But there are some really important components that you guys really need to be thinking about with your communication. They should do 3 things for you. So if you decide to go to Silver and you want to create your own email communication, or let's say you've been around for a while and you have some and you want to improve upon them, let me tell you the 3 things that they should be doing. They should protect you. The cadence should be such that you are putting specific required information in front of your customers. For example, after they deposit the booking, your booking confirmation should include very specific details like, here's, you've deposited in this amount, your final payment is due here, here's how your booking's going to work, here's how documents will work, here's your responsibility, here's where you're going to find travel information, passport information, travel insurance is recommended. If you haven't received travel insurance quotes yet, expect them to come to you, sending out those reminders along the way. So you need to have some protective covenants inside of your communication. You should also be upselling outside services, so concierge services. If you're working with TOs or DMCs on your FITs, they're going to do all the work for you to recommend restaurants for your clients. So why not make that part of the process and communicating to your clients that this is a service that you can offer for $100 or for $50? They're going to do all the legwork for you. These are ways that you're going to start to make more money and boost those commissions. And then, you know, contemporary cruises, promoting outside shore excursions. Why should you let the cruise line make all the money? I'm going to tell you, in the Caribbean, there's a limited number of shore excursion providers, and I can tell you they're all using the same people. So get your project expedition, you know, affiliate link out and plugged into your email communication. And then, of course, you want to create efficiency. So I can tell you that with the way that I lay out all of my bookings with my clients, they don't call after they book because they know what to expect. I take the thinking out of it for them, and I've already anticipated a lot of the questions, including things like the onboarding and process checklist that I sent to my prospects, or I would send as a reminder to my customers. You're going to pay my fee. Then we're going to have a kickoff meeting. You're going to get an initial proposal. You're going to give me feedback. These are all the things that are going to happen along the way. If you make this part of your process, you're going to become really efficient. You're also going to be protected because you are reminding them of these things along the way, and you're going to make more money. So think of it in, you know, those three things: protection, efficiency, and profits. We offer a host of forms as well. Anything related to groups, to booking checklists, to cancellation checklists. Look, guys, I'm 52, almost 53 years old, so I'm a little old school. So I like to have printed versions, and I still, till the very end, religiously used these checklists so I would not forget anything in the process. My assistant, she likes Google Drive, so she enters that information in the document for each client. Later, she started to create sort of tasks along the way that we could just import into trips, and then she could tick off. Whatever works for you, that's what you should do. Don't feel like you have to conform to utilizing technology in every aspect of your business. What you need to be focusing on is what is going to work best for you so that you don't miss a step in the process. Additionally, each month, or I should say most months, we do provide additional education. A lot of this is driven by customer requests. So I want to learn about QuickBooks. I want to learn how to, you know, I want to know the very specific steps and words that I need to communicate during a discovery call. One of the things that has always bugged me inside of this industry is listening to panels of people who tell me what I could or I should do, but they never told me how to do it. It used to really piss me off. I'd get to the end and I'd go, that's an hour of my life that I cannot get back. Could you have please told me how to do it? And so we do give you a lot of those practical things. We do bring in outside educators. We don't look for educators who are just going to give us free things. We look for educators who will add value, and we compensate some of our educators. So we create a guide around it, and then we have a live Q&A usually mid-month, and then we place the recording inside of the platform. We have an open house every single month for our members. So sometimes we bring in suppliers for the first part. I really like to look for super unique suppliers that aren't provided as part of our preferred supplier list that are preferred with every single consortia and host. I'm trying to find some unique suppliers for you guys to consider. So we may start the open house with that. That's all under our live events section of our platform. And then we allow you to just bring your business challenges forward, to speak in a closed group where there's no judgment and you can speak freely in a trusted environment. All right, I mentioned our website codes. So if you are utilizing the gold or the platinum membership, you do get the website policies. All of the plans include the client terms and conditions. But guys, it's super simple. You're going to copy this script. You're going to embed it into the header tag of your website. And when we make updates to these policies, they update directly to your website based on your agency's profile. Even if you went in and you went from becoming a hosted agent to an independent agent, as soon as you make that update in your profile or you change your cancellation fees, it's going to update directly to your website. The documents will regenerate based on that. We do have a lot of great resources inside of our platform. TA Toolkit is here, of course, ASTA, Wanderlust Social. And then the final piece is that we are starting to work on building out our APIs for CRM integration. Listen, guys, I know that there are a lot of tools that we have to flip back and forth between in our business, from our CRM to maybe you're in your cruising power, or you're in VAX, or you're in TA Toolkit. So we want to try to minimize some of the friction for you. And that's why we're working on CRM integrations. So Travefy should be the first integration. We have Turn, Vacation CRM, Trace Technologies, Planet Easy. Those are on deck. Reposit is kind of further down the line because that's not a more common tool that advisors are using, but we want to make it simple and easy for you to execute TIS agreements from within your CRM. So you don't have to come back into TIS, but you're still going to have all of the audit trail on our side, even after those agreements are executed. If you have a team account, so platinum owners, you can manage your team, you can add additional seats, you can also remove some of your users in the manage team section. And of course, you can sign up for our affiliate program. You get $25 for each one of your friends or colleagues that signs up. So that can pay for your yearly membership as well. And we are a subscription, guys. I'm going to let you know that right now. And here is why. A solo lawyer is not an expert in all areas of law. We source lawyers who are experts in specific areas of law. We monitor the laws. That is a lot of time to monitor. We make updates. When we make updates, we communicate those updates to you. We also update them inside of the document. We don't just send you an email that says, here's a clause that was updated. Now go figure out where you need to put it into your terms and conditions. We make sure that all of the agreements work together and there's cohesiveness inside of your documentation. We also break down what those updates mean, what actions you need to take, whether it's with your independent contractors or your customers. In addition, we warranty our product. What that means is that if we make a mistake, or let's say we have a technology failure and you have a financial loss as a result of it, we actually make you whole under our policy, under our warranty. So that's another component. And the last thing I want to say is that we're more than a forms and solution provider. We are your business partner, and we aim to provide you with practical tools that are really, really meaningful to your business. For example, the DOT rulings. Not one lawyer, a professional association, not the editors of the publications are talking about the knock-on impacts to non-merchant of record advisors. We are 50 pages deep into this guidance, which will be released before the October 28th deadline, which includes disclaimers, how this impacts you, what you're going to communicate to your customers, what are the things you need to ask for of your suppliers who are packaging air. What is the internal checklist that you need to compare against the processes that you have already in place? What's going to change with travel insurance? What are some of the things that are going to happen with Regal Wings, the air consolidator? How can you lean on them? How can you prevent this as a value proposition to your clients? These are the types of things that we're doing. Here's some cool things that are also on the horizon. We just solidified a deal for bookkeeping and tax prep services in all 50 states, guys. So all 50 states, you will have access to somebody who knows the travel sector. We are adding background check services. So for all of you agency owners with ICs, there are a lot of lawsuits right now related to companies and independent contractors and not performing background checks. We are in the very early stages of trying to find out if we can offer chargeback defense services to you guys by a professional company that has technology and science behind winning chargebacks. We are going to be building out some connectivity on financially vetted suppliers around the world who have had background checks, insurance verifications, financial solvency. So we have a lot of things that we're looking to add to our platform over the coming months and year. We will continue to focus on some of these key things that are really important for your back office and your business. So you can turn to TIS as that business solution provider for you, and then start to leverage tools if you're not already, like TA Toolkit, to create more efficiency, to improve your professionalism, because you're more knowledgeable. Lean on other providers who maybe focus in the marketing space. Looking at leveraging, if you're a Disney person, we just had Penny Cooper and Christina Vieira on. They have amazing Disney related products. There's a lot of great products in the industry, but we aim to really focus on the business of your business. So I hope that answers your questions. We do have support team. There are several of us that monitor our support channel. It is live chat and email. We strive to answer you within a couple of hours, always same day during normal business hours. We do have an extensive help library. We do live onboarding calls if you need one-on-one help. We'll also help you. You can schedule 15-minute one-on-one calls with our team. So we're not just throwing you out there. And also, if you have a really specialized need inside of your business, we can do bespoke work for you. We do have a lot of customers who have come to us to do bespoke legal work. So we pair you with one of the lawyers where it makes sense. I mean, we have a customer who only books travel for people with life-threatening food allergies. She has a really unique business. She has to spend 3 months vetting the kitchens of the restaurants where these customers go. She has to vet the transportation, the lodging. She has to map out all of the medical facilities for these families. It's a really unique business. And so she came to us. We've had other instances where people have said, I came to you because your product is so brilliant, but I have this weird nuance with my agency. And I look at it and I go, it is super weird. It's like nothing that I've seen out there. And so what we need to do is a little bit of a customization for you in this particular area. So don't think that you come to TIS and you get no support. You have support by TIS. And I'll open it up to questions.
Thank you, Sheila. You guys can type your questions in the chat or unmute yourself to ask a question. Feel free either way.
And I'm going to type this into everybody on the call. You can save 15% on any plan with TIS. We are preferred with quite a few people inside of our industry, including ASTA and travel leaders, and there's quite a few virtuoso agencies and yada yada yada. So, we have taken all of these steps to be verified and approved, and I'm really excited just about where the company has come in 4 years. And there's a lot more coming. We're very feedback driven, so reach out to us and ask us or say, I need this. As a matter of fact, the agency offboarding documents, the IC offboarding documents, are a result of so many of our agency owners going, I need documentation that ties to their IC contract that terminates their relationship with me. I want to have that spelled out very, very clearly. Can you guys create something like that? And I go, yes, we will. That's going to be launched with the traveling with minor consent and the medical consent forms.
Something that probably a lot of us didn't think about. That's a good idea.
Well,
So
I have to do the traveling with minor consent all the time because I'm a widow.
that one.
And my daughter travels with, our friends. So I'm constantly having to do that. And I'm constantly having to give authorization to make medical decisions in an emergency.
Right. So that you typed in the word 15 in the chat. That's the code that they would use to get their 15% off. Okay.
15% off. And I'll put my email in here, guys. If you have any questions, then you can reach out to me with any questions. Also, if you want to have another walkthrough of the platform, you can go to our website, and there is a link. Let me go to the website now. At the top of every single page that says schedule demo. So we do have the live demo. I'll include that here. And let's talk about tests. We would love to have an integration with tests. They are really kind of at the bottom of our list because we know their technology is a little bit outdated, but we also know it's such a huge valuable tool because of their back office to agency owners. So we will work on trying to push that forward. But I will tell you, we have a ton of test users on the TIS platform, and they prefer to use TIS for the execution of the agreements because TESS doesn't collect the CVV and you don't have an audit trail. And the audit trail is missing from a lot of CRMs. Travefy has a really robust audit trail. So our test users are executing agreements inside of TIS. And if we can make the kind of like the iframe integration with TIS to make it easier for them, then we can see that happen. But for like the emails and the workflows, they're creating the workplace extensions, and that works really well. So I hope that answered your question.
And I'm sure there are a lot of things you went through that fairly quickly, your little demo there. So I know that there's a lot of things in there that you just barely were able to touch on during this demo. So
yeah, because you can download our agreements now from there. You download your personalized agreements under the master templates. So you can download it and you can copy and paste it over to your CRM now. But then you need to worry about manually updating them when we push out updates. And people love our product, but they hate the manual updates. And it is the one thing that I used to hear all the time was, I love it. But you guys make these updates and then I have to take the time to go in and update it. And it's such a pain in the butt. And that was one of the drivers for me to create the technology around it, not only to alleviate the manual update piece, but we would get a lot of questions when we were just downloadable solutions. Well, what do I put here when it says agency name? I go, well, put your agency name, so. And then, do I need this paragraph for California? Well, what kind of agency are you? How are you set up? Even though we had user guides to go along with it, we're busy. We just want it done for us. And so that was the driver behind creating the technology. And I, of course, am an advisor and I'm all about efficiency and eliminating friction. So I was like, let's just build our own e-sign while we're at it. Let's add the credit card vault. We will add connectivity to Stripe. That's all part of the whole chargeback mitigation defense piece. We're going to try to bring Stripe into this. So we'll add connectivity with Stripe and maybe a couple of other providers for those of you that are collecting fees directly, like your planning fees, or maybe you're a net agency and you want to be able to collect, those monies along with the authorizations.
Awesome. I do have a question. If
Mhm.
you have, so you have master templates and then you have your personal templates. So I can go in and I can make these changes to my personal templates. When you make a change to the master template, then how do I get that into my personal template? Is that a manual process? Do you update that for us, or how does that work?
Okay, so let me switch back to the screen and let me show you. So there's only a couple of instances where there's a handful of instances where you would actually make changes. So those would be common things like your independent travel agent agreement. The start date for that advisor is different than the start date of the other advisor. Maybe you have a different compensation level. Or, when you're working with a virtual assistant, maybe I had 3 at one time in my agency and they were all being paid something differently. Or like my group leader, maybe I have kind of a standard process for my group leaders. So when you go in, let me just use an easier example. You would click on save as a personalized template. The first thing that you're going to do is you do need to complete some of the fillable areas. Click next, 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 and then you'll be prompted to save as a personalized template. Once you go into your personalized templates, this is where you're going to edit it further, make some adjustments to the inputs that we've guided you along the way. You don't want to change the legal stuff because you may end up removing a provision that is part of another provision. When we make updates, though, to this particular agreement, it's not going to update into your personalized templates because you've already altered our document. So there's no way for us to determine what part you've altered. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
But I will tell you, we have some things that we are cooking on our side that will leverage technology, okay, to
Why am I not
recognize
surprised?
this, okay? Which is why we have the date created. So let's say you want to go in and pull, you want to look at your saved personalized template for your virtual assistant. It was created on October 24th of 2023. You can switch over to the master templates and you can see that it was actually updated March 11th of 24. So you're going to want to use the latest agreement.
Mhm. All right.
Okay.
I think I saw another question come in.
Okay.
Let's see. Your website address.
Ah, thought I pulled it up, but I didn't put it in the chat.
Sure enough, look at that.
There you go. That's the website, and then you can go to pricing and products, which is here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I created TIS, not only is because I had my own legal protection because it was, I have a background in risk management and, yada, yada, yada. And I spent so much money. It was unbelievable. And we hear about this every single day from some of our customers who end up coming to us as I was quoted $6,500 for, an independent contractor agreement from a firm that specializes in labor law. Or I was quoted this, and then for them to do updates, I had to pay $500 an hour. If I wanted this type of service, I had to do this. If I needed to speak to somebody, they billed me on an hourly basis. So one, the cost was super hefty for me, but then I got a charge back. He was my best friend from college. He was my personal attorney, and he was the named guardian of my child if I die, and the executor of my estate. And he did a fraudulent chargeback against me. He lost his job, and he was not satisfied with the supplier refund because he was very close in to his travel, and he happens to be a creditor's rights litigator. And he initiated a chargeback against my supplier, which is essentially against me. And it was really painful, not only emotionally painful, and I still get teary-eyed about it today because we don't have a friendship anymore. But it took a lot of time for me to gather everything together. And I was lucky because I was in a position to go out there and have all of these things in place for my business. And it was just the way that I thought in my previous exposure throughout my career. But not everybody comes to the table with the same type of skill set and the same type of budget, because it's really expensive to invest in starting up a business. It's super expensive, especially when you don't have cash flow in the beginning. And so I vowed I would never let this happen to anybody else, and I would bring forth a solution that made sense and was affordable and was updated, and we would continue to add new solutions, every single month. And so that was a big driver for me to create TIS.
Thank you for sharing that. I can tell that it still bothered you.
It's been years now.
Yeah,
It's been years. And he was my best friend. He was Uncle Jason to my daughter.
that is rough.
And I've been raising my daughter alone for 12 years. I don't have family in town. I don't have a brother or sister who can raise my daughter if something happens to me. That was tough. And I always like to tell people that because they always think that they're safe with friends and family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then a lot of us know that stay away from them if you can. Right.
Well, thank you so much for having me here today, Debbie. I just really appreciate it. I know you've got a lot on your plate, and I know that everybody, it's Friday afternoon, you want to kind of look forward to your weekend, but my contact details are in there in the chat. You can email me directly. I'm super accessible. A lot of our members even have my personal cell if they have an issue or a problem, or they want to ask me about something inside of their business or with a client that's not even legal related, like how would you solve this, or what could I do here? Or so I'm always available.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking your time to come and share with our members today. And I appreciate what you've done for the TA community.
Thank you so
a real
much.
value. All right. Well, you take care. Thank you, everybody, for attending. We have recorded this, so if you want to go back and watch again, or if you came in late, we will get the recording out there.
Thanks, guys. Take
All right.
care.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.